soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, the opposition ain't. All that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to South Florida at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. Tonight we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the San Francisco 49ers and our home team. It's the team of the 80s versus the team of the 90s. The Niners, the Cowboys, they're underway.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Here we go. 180! Watch the run, watch the run. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Garoppolo on first down. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. The sack by Robert Quinn.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Garoppolo looks to throw. He finds McKinnon complete. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He sets to fire deep. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Hey, gun.
They do go for it. It's Garoppolo. Goodwin able to haul it in. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast.
Here we go.
How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive.
Check.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
1st and 10 at the 12. Here we go. 180! I'm coming after you.
And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. Oh, he's got some breathing room.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
The first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 2nd down. It's Elliott, and he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Mike, here we go. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. But he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
Here we go. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Go! Kill.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
Here we go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
I'm not sure that you'd call it a trick play, but they definitely showed some imagination there. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to come back and show this play a few more times before this one is over.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down now, run with McKinnon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Niners have the 1st down on a gain of 11.
Here we go.
After one, a one-point game, 7-6. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Here we go. 180. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Get hot. Man, I got you. Get hot.
Off the play fake to McKinnon. It's Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the first round, it was pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray first, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they've looked pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skilled players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about it.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
And the pressure gets to him again. Tyrone Crawford, his 2nd sack of the night.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
I got you.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. And a big loss here as he's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence. That's now back-to-back sacks, and it brings up 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here we go.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more.
11. 65. 21. Hey, gun.
Here we go on 4th down with Garoppolo. Going for the deep ball. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. And I do believe this is going to line up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Wow, what a disaster. You talk about a guy making a good play on the interception and then just trying to be too cute on the return.
It almost felt like his own gyroscope really got out of whack, didn't it? Going backwards into your own end zone after such a great play. Totally disoriented and gave up 2 points for his team.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Collins breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
Here we go. 180. Let's go, D.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Now he's going to let it go deep, right sideline. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Touchdown, 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo with his 2nd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Well, I love watching Goodwin play. Of course, everybody knows the story of him being an Olympian as a long jumper,
yes,
right?
Yes.
But you know that he has that athleticism, that big playability.
He certainly does. And not only was he an Olympian as a long jumper, married to a sprinter. How about that for speed in one family? And I love his end zone celebrations now. When he does go deep and beat someone for a touchdown, now he does the long jump as his celebration. Pretty cool deal.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They start on the ground with Elliott. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Are you okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 38, Prescott. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown, and pick it off, just as we saw there.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
At this stage of the game, the run